Hi, my friends. I just did my video in Spanish and now I'm gonna do it in English. I know I'm posting a lot of stuff in Spanish and my friends are like, what about the English? So yes, I know I'm going back and forth and still don't know what to do. There is a button at the bottom of my post that you said that if you click it, it says see translation. The translations could be very funny and they could be inaccurate, but the idea is there. Anyways, I'm gonna do the video because also my English speaking friends have asked me how was my trip to Mexico and how is it traveling to another country in these COVID times. The most important part of this video that I will want you to take is if you decide to travel, make sure you take all precautions, and most importantly, be careful with the tickets that you bought, because I have bought 2 tickets already that I lost, and it's important that you know that sometimes, I think most of the times we buy the cheapest ones because we're like, oh, this is the cheapest one, but we don't really know what does that include. And usually the cheap one includes nothing, meaning if you need to change the date, you may lose the full amount of your ticket. So it's important now that you realize the difference between buying directly with an airline and buying with one of the websites. I love websites that give you deals, obviously. In my case, the past 2 experiences I had by doing that were really bad when I wanted to get my money back. So at this point, I'm just focusing on buying directly with the airlines because I want to make sure that I don't have to deal with a third party in case that there is a change in the flight, or because either I can't travel, or because COVID happened, or because they said we cannot travel anymore. So that's one of the points that I want you to take out of this video. Make sure that if you want to travel, you look for deals, but try to buy directly with the airline, and make sure that your ticket, the ticket I just bought now, says that I can either have a one-time moving date, that you can move the date. The second one could be refunded and get a credit that has no limit of time, so it's not only in 1 year. And it's the third thing is it is transferable, which means that if I decide at the end not traveling, I can sell the ticket to somebody else. So those are very important tips that I can give you in this video in case you decide to buy a ticket. We are encouraged not to travel unless it's an essential travel. So if you have something to do right now in another country, make sure you do that, buy those tickets. But if you don't have to travel, well, they are invited us not to do so. I don't want to promote any traveling at this point. I want to promote that you behave, that you take care of precautions right now with COVID. And I just wanted to share with you my experience. It was great to see my family. I haven't seen my family for 8 months. The ones who know me know that it's very hard for me to be away from them. I need to see them at least once every one week, at least every 6 months. I haven't seen them for 8 months at that time when I went to Cabo, and then I have stopped there and I enjoy one night with them. Then I lost my flight, and then I had to stay the second night, which was a gift of my life because it was like I didn't expect it. I lost the ticket and I have to buy another ticket. You see, I'm learning and I'm sharing with you so it doesn't happen to you. So now that I went there, one of the questions people are asking me is was it scary, was it dangerous, did you find that it was risky? I bought a ticket with Aeromexico that it's overnight. You get you leave Toronto at night and you get in Mexico in the morning. Obviously the airport was empty. I saw a lot of precautions. You know, you still have to maintain the distance between each other in the line. They give us a little, like, everywhere you can put alcohol in your hands. The flight was full. Everybody was wearing their masks very respectfully. I didn't see any issues. We have to use the masks the whole time, 5 hours, sleeping or not sleeping, you have to wear the mask. It was funny because I was telling in my Spanish video, I fell asleep and then it got dark, obviously, because it was at nighttime. And then when I woke up, kind of like this, I saw a guy walking in the middle of the airplane. It was like really dark, and then he had like a mask, and I got scared. I was like, oh. So then I was like, oh no, it's COVID times, I'm fine. So that was the only thing that I was like, ay caramba, because I find that, you know, I don't know if that happens to you, but you don't trust people. You see people with a mask, and even though you're like cool about it and stuff, you still something inside is like, ay caramba, does he have it or no? And then the guy sitting next to you is like, you know, I think he doesn't trust you either. So those are the weird things that are happening now. We don't trust each other. We suspect of each other. And that's the sad part about it, right? Then I got to Mexico. I didn't need to quarantine. I thought I was gonna have to. Actually, I was thinking I was gonna get there and spend the whole week, don't go out, don't see anybody other than my parents, my grandma, my brother, my niece, my sister-in-law, and that was it. But well, life put everything on place, and I saw the people I needed to see, which I think it was perfect, because we all talk about what's happening. I think it was a boost of love and energy to see each other, to make sure that everybody's okay, to understand that life will be different from now on, but we need to make sure that we continue living, taking all the precautions we need to, but making sure that we don't allow the news or other people's experience to affect our mental health, which I always say, your mental health affects your physical health. So make sure that you keep checking on you, what you're watching, what you're listening to, because we don't want to get sick by all the things that are being said. Other than that, well, I have to come back to Canada, and we have to do the 14 days quarantine. I was reading one thing in the website, and then I noticed that they gave me a paper at the airport that says that in my case, because I came to a condo, and then I have to quarantine. So if you're in a house, it looks like you can quarantine with the people who didn't travel with you. You need to stay in your room and use one bathroom, and then if you need to use the kitchen, you can, but you need to use your mask and wipe the surfaces, yes, to make sure that you don't expose others, because you still have those 14 days to make sure that you don't get it, right? You have to be careful. You cannot go out at all. So yes, it looks like you are supposed to, you are allowed to quarantine with your family members who didn't travel with you, but there in the other websites, in the website says something different, like I was reading, but again, don't take my word for this, because that's my Spanglish reading, that you were not supposed to. So I don't know, check the website for the Canada and the right information. I'm just making a video of what I understand and how was my experience, right? But at the end, that little paper they gave me says that I could, if I didn't have an option to stay with my family members, just if we cannot have those 2 meters apart, to put the mask on and stay in one room, which I have in the bathroom, and then wipe the kitchen, not to expose them, right? Right now, my kids are not with me, so it was 3 weeks. It will be 3 weeks I didn't see my kids. It was a hard decision to make, because I felt that I needed to see my family, but by doing that, I was gonna not see my kids for 3 weeks. I'm glad my daughter said, "Mommy, just do it." Like, I cannot even imagine how it's not to see your family for that long. So just do it. And then Nico said we can just do webcam when you come back and you're doing the quarantine. That's what we have been doing. Making that decision was hard, because obviously by coming back to Canada and travel, I have to stay home and I cannot work, cannot go out. So it was a hard decision, but I'm glad I did. I think that trip helped me and helped my family to feel a little bit cheer up. I'm full of energy. I can wait to see the kids. I can wait to go back to work. And I don't know, what else? Oh, people were asking me about the suit, the white suit that I was wearing in my Instagram picture. Do they ask you to wear it? No, they don't. I just decided I was gonna wear it because I was gonna travel like that. I didn't want to risk my grandma or my parents by being exposed at the airport. So I took the pictures, but then at the end of the picture, it was so hot that I had to take it. So if you want to travel with that suit, make sure you are in your underwear and then just put the suit because it's really, really hot. So people who are wearing that for work or saving lives, that must be really, really hard. Because for me, just to be there taking a picture, it was so hot I had to remove it. So at the end, I left that to my brother. So I said, that could be your Halloween costume, right? So no, they don't require you to do that. At this point, they didn't require me to take a test before I take the airplane or when I landed. So I think that's it, my friends. I don't know if you have any other questions. Please feel free to write in my comments below. I will be happy to answer from my experience. Remember, all my videos are based on my experience, and I try to do some research, but just based on what I live. So don't take my word for like 100%, because you learn with me making mistakes. I made the mistakes, then you learn what not to do. That's how I teach you. So anyways, I'm gonna go because I have so much things to do in my quarantine. And just make sure you follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, because I need followers, I need comments, I need interactions. It's important for someone who's doing videos, and I am doing them, and I love doing them, and I love to get your inbox messages. But it's important for someone who's doing this to get some interaction. So I will appreciate your sharing, liking, and commenting. I'm going now. Have a wonderful weekend, and yes, please take all the precautions. Again, I will never be tired of telling you that. But don't forget to live, and don't forget to love and kiss and hold all the people you love. I know we're not allowed to do it with your masks if you need to. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Love you guys. I can send you a beso because we are on camera. Bye.